Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hearts and Arts podcast. Allow me to introduce myself again. My name is Gerard Arrienda, and I am your host. And today I have another fellow GMP member as my guest. He is my good friend and my favorite freshman, one of them at least, from our college years, Hayden Harbison. How are you doing, Hayden?
Hello, I'm doing pretty good today. Yeah.
Good to have you on the show, buddy. Well, introduce yourself and your craft as well.
Yes, absolutely. My name is Hayden Harbison. I'd like to call myself a writer, director, and actor. Um, I'm an incoming sophomore into UCR, a fellow GMP member. I met Gerard my last year, and it's been a great time there at UCR.
So far, having fun at your university environment, and I can see it too in your work as well. Alrighty. So Hayden here, as he just said, is an actor, a director, and a writer. And I had the pleasure of seeing his work come to life on the stage before, on the GMP stage, and that our black box setting. First time I saw your work was Experiment of Theater. Can you tell us about your involvement in that? Because I'm sure you'd love to give us all the tea and shout out your cast and everyone else you worked with as well.
Um, yeah, an experiment of theater. That was that was when I worked on A Prophet Daniel. I was the co-director with one of the guests you had the first episode, Ty Rogoff. He was the other director, and it was a really great experience. That was like my first time directing something for like the stage like that. I have done assistant directing in the past, and so this was a great opportunity, especially to work with Ty. I think I'm gonna shout out a lot. He really showed me. Um, he taught me a lot about being a director and directing actors and just more stuff about theater than I think I could have learned in a classroom. So that was a really great experience. We did A Prophet Daniel, which is a play that he had written. I really enjoyed it. I was going into it. I wasn't sure what to expect. I remember first reading the script and I was like, this isn't something I could see myself writing or directing. But then, um, talking with Ty, I could see how passionate he was about it, and I got that passion too, and it came out pretty nicely, I'd like to say.
That's something I actually want to get into too, because what you explained in your experience right there, that's about taking risks. And taking risks is something an artist does. It's what propels them. And being an artist, it's the way I put it, it's about opening forbidden doors. And that's what you did. And you ended up enjoying it. You loved that experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and definitely taking risks. It's art is about, creating things that are new and exciting. And so if you're not taking risks, you're not doing anything new. You got to push yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. And not to mention, you did all of this in your freshman year. You
Yeah.
When I started college, I was just focusing on my academics. I was too focused on that. I should have gotten to the arts department off the bat. But I mean, here I am, like still growing, still learning, just like all of us artists. We're still students forever. And but you did this in your freshman year. You got a good start, and you got again a very enjoyable experience. Because, um, okay, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw you in the first GMP meeting, I'm not gonna lie, you were one of like the first freshmen that I met, and instantly I saw your passion, I saw your dedication to the craft, and I kept telling myself, "Wow, this kid has passion. Like I can't wait to see his works, like as an actor, as a director, as a writer." And you delivered it so much. Like I saw you perform in a recent play at UCR produced by GMP, Life on the Art, written and directed by our good friend Yasmin. Yasmin, if you're watching this, shout out to you. That was a very beautiful play. And Hayden, what was your experience in that? Like, what lessons did you learn about yourself in that play?
That play was really fun for me. Life into Art. That, as you said, it was directed and written by Yasmin, and she's a really good friend that I got to meet this first year, along with another fellow actor who was in the play named Alvin. You know Alvin, and
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah. So I became good friends with them this past year, and so working on that play with both of them, yeah, Yasmin as the director and then Alvin as a fellow cast member, it was really fun. And so something I've learned from that is just having fun with it. It's very easy with theater, especially I think, to get wrapped up and overwhelmed and everything. And rightfully so. Putting on a play is a hard thing. It takes a lot of people, a lot of dedication. But you 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 got to have fun, and that's what I really did with that play. Being able to act a really goofy character. I was Mr. Calamus, and then Alvin was Mr. Apules. We were both art snobs, and so we both came up with funny accents, and it was really fun. The banter we had, performing as well as off stage with the rest of the cast and everyone. So yeah, just learning to have fun.
I was gonna ask about that too. Like you mentioned accents. I was like, are they trying to go for a French accent here? Because that got me. Like the accents were so good and it added to your character so well. Like it worked so well for you guys. Like was that on you guys or was that one of Yasmin's directions for you? Either way, it worked so well.
That was totally our characterization. So that was totally our call. And then I mean, you heard we both did two different accents, whatever it was. But it's something really funny to me because in high school when I did theater before, I had done so many roles with accents. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but it's so funny. Everyone loves it, and I enjoy it. So yeah.
Accents, like I know they are hard. I started with doing impressions just for fun. I'm not the best. I mean, I can't do like celebrity impressions off the bat. I've done a few voice acting works myself before, and yeah, these impressions, these accents, they're hard to master. But as long as you're having fun with them, at least you're trying to get the hang of it, and you're growing as an artist. Speaking of growing, I've gone over this with Ty and Maya in our past episodes of HIA, and that is every artist starts with a spark. And since you mentioned your high school days, whether if it's those days or before that, what I mean, when did you find your spark? How did you find your spark? And this is where you got your inspirations, your ideas, and ignitions of passion. Where did it all start for you?
Okay. That's a really good question. I love that. For me, I think ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a movie director. I always did. I still do. I want to work in film. Um, and so if as a little kid, I would make little videos with like my little Legos, my little Lego toys. Um, and I in elementary school, I would start like writing out stories on just pieces of paper. And I told myself, I was like, I would never want to be a writer as a kid because you'd write long essays, and I was like, my hand gets tired. I don't want to write. I don't want to do any of that. And then into middle school, I started writing a little bit more. Um, there was an assignment in fifth grade we had to do. We read the book Bridge to Terabithia. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
Mhm.
it's a book about kids who've come up with like this mythical land of their own. And so for the assignment, we had to create our own mythical land. And so my mythical land was called Far Utopia. and it was based off the neighborhood that I was living in at the time with like some of my friends, and we were all different characters. And so then jumping off of that assignment, I would start writing stories of our utopia, and I wrote out the history and all this, and that's where I really learned that I wanted to be a storyteller. And so I had that drive as a kid. I was like, I'm gonna be a director, I'm gonna do this and that. And then I started writing in elementary, middle school, and then I was like, I'm gonna be a storyteller. And then high school, right? High school came, and I wasn't familiar with the theater at all. I had never even like thought of joining theater. And what happened my freshman year was I had joined a newspaper club on campus. And I was like, I'm gonna be a newspaper writer. It's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna write articles. And I showed up to a meeting, and I was the only person there, besides the club president. And I was like kind of disappointed. And so I went to like two meetings, and then one day I was walking to the club, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, I'm gonna go to drama club. Do you want to come with me?" And I was like, "Well, I gotta go to newspaper club right now." And I thought about it, and I was like, "What am I doing? There's no one there. I feel bad. I would have loved to do it, but I was like, I'm gonna try it out." So I went to drama club that day. I met so many people. I had so much fun, and it was just a rolling stone. I auditioned. I joined for Tech for their show, their fall production, and then the next year I started acting, and then the year after that I did assistant directing, and here I am now in college, still in love with theater. So that's
Nice.
the journey, yeah.
Awesome. That's a very awesome story there. I'm not gonna lie, like layers upon layers of these callings that are coming to you. Like, I've been talking about these in our past episodes of HIA, and these are about signs. Like, if it's like as if something is telling you, like, this is the path that is right for you. It's can we say that theater found you? Because that's a good sign right there.
Absolutely. I personally believe, yeah, everything happens for a reason, and that moment I can't deny it. Yeah, it was meant to be.
I totally relate to that because okay, I'm gonna retell this story again, make it about myself. When I was 8 years old, I found my spark, my theatrical spark, in elementary school. And spoiler alert, I was a very lazy kid. I was not motivated to do anything. In fact, I was not even motivated to go to recess. Whenever recess came around, I went to the detention room by choice, my choice, because I would rather read than go outside and play soccer or kickball or basketball or whatever playground games they play out there. I would rather hit the books. And one day during the Christmas season, um, I saw a sign up sheet for A Christmas Carol, which was the play they were putting up. And again, I was a very lazy kid back in elementary school, so I wasn't motivated to do much, but something pulled me to sign my name on that sign up sheet. And of course, went to audition. I went all out. I did not know I could do that much on a stage. Like, usually someone steps on stage or in front of the camera for the first time and instantly they freeze, like out of stage fright. But for me, I was flying. And sure enough, I got casted as Jacob Marley's ghost. And again, these are signs. Like, read the signs. This is the path you're going down. And it's a good path. Stay on that path because it's your passion. It's something that found you. So don't let it go to waste. And this is what you're doing too, especially with the rest of GMP. Like, you're following your passion because your passion found you. And that's a good sign for us artists. If it finds you, if your art finds you, stick with it because it's a very rare occasion that happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's put it back to your experience with the Prophet Daniel, which was a play written by our good friend Ty Rogoff, who I had on episode 1, the premiere pilot episode of HIA. Um, did you like get pulled into that? Because again, the sign of getting pulled or getting found by your artistic passion.
So with that, I had already been involved with GMP before that, the quarter before, and I knew I knew I wanted to direct. I wanted my opportunity to direct, and I'd written a play and submitted it, and I was very particular. I had told Ty, I talked to him. I was like, look at if I'm gonna direct, I want to direct my own piece. Just really, just yeah, really, I really wanted to do it. It was a piece I'd worked on for a long time, and then yeah, and then eventually, as it turned out, Ty was like, he gave me the opportunity to direct with him on his piece. Nothing against what I had written, but he told me himself too. He's like he had really wanted to work with me because going back the summer before school started, GMP had like some sort of summer outreach thing. I'm not exactly sure, but I had found GMP on the Highlander League for UCR, like the club pages, and I had followed the Instagram for like a really long time. I was like, I'm going to do this, and they had this Zoom reach out day orientation kind of thing, and I had met Ty, and so he was literally the first person that I met through GMP, even before school started. And so then for him, he told me he's like I really want to work with you, and so that made me feel really good about taking on this piece with him and working with him, and so so going back, yeah, I knew I wanted to direct that quarter. I was like, I want to direct the show this quarter. And so even though it might not have been like the show that I wanted to do, but it really worked out. Yeah.
Awesome experiences going all around. Not to mention, again, you were just a freshman when all of these were happening, and again, I saw it in you. Ty saw it in you. Even our GMP officers who were all seniors, like I can say they saw it in you too. It's a good sign when us upper graders, us seniors, we see something special within freshmen, incoming freshmen. We see their dedication, their passions, and we saw your spark. And look where it got you. You're one of the officers of GMP too. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And would you like give us another more information of what you can about your other position as an officer for another on-campus performance-based club, which is Comedy Closet, um, head of which is our good friend and your fellow incoming sophomore, Saya. Shout out to you, Saya, if you're watching.
Yeah. So GMP, right? I'm coming in this next year as the vice president for the club, and I'm also coming in as vice president for the Comedy Closet. And the Comedy Closet is a UCR comedy club. It is a club about stand-up comedy. We've done improv comedy, and we want to try sketch comedy too. All those things, and that was that was absolutely the brainchild of Saya. I was the vice president this last year before too, and it's a brand new club. Me and Saya started, and so I should go back some more. Yeah, right. So I met Saya my very first quarter. We were in the introduction to theater, film, digital production class, and we'd sat next to each other. We had a public speaking class as well together, and he told everyone about this idea that he had, that he really wanted to create a comedy club on campus. And so I was one of the first people to reach out to him, and I was yeah, like that's so cool. I've never, never once before thought of, doing comedy or anything like that, stand up. And so I was just like, that's a great idea. I want to see that happen. And so, I reached out to him. We've been close friends since, and we got that club off the ground as freshmen. Within the fall winter quarter, it was up, and then we started having club meetings. We had open mics, showcase events, and everything. And now we're going into the second year, and it's really exciting. Yeah.
I I can't wait to drop by for a visit and see some upcoming projects that you guys had or have, sorry, for GMP and Comedy Closet. I'm excited to see these new um golden fruits. No pun intended, GMP, golden fruits of your labors. And I can't wait to see you guys shine too. And speaking of it up, oh my goodness, I can't even speak. Um, upcoming projects. Uh, you have one in the works right now. It's if I can talk about it publicly, it's oh my goodness, a lot of things are going everywhere. These puzzle pieces. Um, you have an upcoming work. It's your product. So I guess it's only fair that you give us the tea. What
Okay.
what's available?
Yeah. I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but I have an event over
Surprises,
this.
surprise.
Yeah, it's definitely a surprise. When it gets more established, there'll be more information out for more people. But yeah, it's just something over the summer I'm getting together for writers, for playwrights, and so with my own experience this past quarter, I just want to be able to give a platform for writers to write, tell stories, and have their stories told the way that they want them to. And so that's a little something happening this summer. Again, a little hush hush right now as we establish more stuff. But yeah.
Yep. Looking forward to this product that you're putting up. It's very interesting. I'll be there front row, I promise. Alrighty.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I got into this subject before, and it is like story time on HIA, where we tell any memories or mishaps that happened on stage, and it became a good memory at the end of the day. And it's something us artists carry with us. Like, are there any like stage mishaps that you remembered and applied it as a memory to your artistry? I saw you light up there for a minute. I'm sure you got stories.
So many. There's so many stories.
Story time
Uh,
with Hayden.
a lot from high school, but I'm trying to think. I got to pick one now, right? One memory that sticks out to me the most is the very first time I acted. I'm trying to think, where do I start here? So we, at my high school, we had the senior one acts, which were the seniors in the high school in the advanced theater class could write and direct their own one act plays. And so I had a buddy named Chuko who had written a play called Madness in Town. It was like a detective noir murder mystery kind of thing, and really exciting. And so I auditioned. I got a role as a bartender. It was Big B, big letter B, the bartender, and it was a really small role, nothing too exciting, but I had a lot of fun with all my friends in the cast there, and it was my first time ever acting. I had a goofy accent. I think I did like a Brooklyn accent or something, and we had maybe 3 4 shows, and I was backstage on the very last night, and this show was a mess, to say the least. It had gone through so many rewrites. We had been forgetting our lines because they'd be rewritten the show before, and props were missing, and this and that, and everything that could go wrong went wrong. But we were just such a goofy group of people that we had fun with it. And so on the very last night, I was backstage. My scenes were already done, and it was getting to the very last scene. This is a very um, crazy scene where all the characters are out. They have guns drawn, and the truth is revealed. And I'm not in that scene, but I was backstage, and I thought, what if I was? I want to be in that scene. And so the assistant director was backstage talking with the stage manager, and I went up to him. His name was Brian, and I was like, can I go out there really quick? Can I just, this play was already a mess. It was already going downhill. The audience could tell. And I was like, can I just go out there really quick? There's a door. Can I just walk in? And so he thought for a second, and then he got back to me. He's like, go right ahead. And so me as the bartender, I had my drinks, and everyone was yelling on stage, and I knocked on the door really, really loud, and everyone on stage froze because obviously this wasn't scripted. They didn't know what was happening. And so I knocked on the door. I walked right in. I looked around. I let it build up, and I was like, "Is this the wrong room?" Turned around, left. You know. In retrospective, it might not be that funny, but to me, it was hilarious, and it went crazy. Everyone went crazy. I don't know what the hell was what was going on stage with the actors, but from then on, that was like my star moment. That was my moment there. I was always the guy that was like, "Uh-oh, wrong room," and everyone would make fun of me, and "Uh-oh, wrong room." And after the show, everyone was like, "What'd you do? What was that for?" And yeah, it was good though. And that was just, I guess that was just kind of making, again, having fun, just making the best of a rocky situation there.
You know what that tells me about you? That shows your resilience as an actor, as an artist. Like you you were like, oh my goodness, if you saw that you were going to have fun even when things were going like out of nowhere, everything was just falling apart, you can make something out of that falling apart situation, and you turned it into something entertaining, I would say. And oh my goodness, like that's quite the story. That's a story for the ages, for your high school days to remember. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I'm just listening to your story right there just gave me flashbacks to my high school production of Noises Off, where Act Two, we didn't have much prepared. We were just diving headfirst into a pool of sharks, and we made something out of it. It fell apart, but we owned it. We owned that story, and that's like
Right.
what you did right there. Oh, that's a story for the ages. A stage mishap turns into something entertaining. Again, a sign you're able to turn this falling out situation into a farcical story. A sign,
Exactly.
a sign as an actor, an artist, and a resilient person on stage. Alrighty. Um, so with that, I do have another one last question to ask before we get to the advice, and that is, um, how are you like enjoying your time with college theater so far? Like, I can tell you had so much fun in your freshman year when we were around. Unfortunately, us seniors just left, and now you're on the reins. You're taking control alongside some other amazing people as your fellow artists and officers. How is it going for you and for everyone?
I think it's going really good. It is really good. Um, I'm really excited. I think I really just want to push the bounds of our little theater club. I want to see how far we can take this. Push the theater far beyond the little black box that we have, right? Far beyond the 411. The I want to see really, what theater can do beyond this small space, and not just for the club, but for myself as well. Expanding myself out towards more opportunities on campus and off campus as well, um, and just honing my craft as well.
Expanding your entertainment empire. I like it. Maybe one of these days, GMP will take the big stage. I had my moment on the big stage, And I can't wait for GMP to have that as well. And Ty had his moment on the big stage as well. So did Myra and a lot of our seniors. And I can speak, hopefully, or I'd like to think on behalf of them, the big stage is everything. It's our home, and GMP will love it, especially now that you're taking the reins alongside some amazing artists slash officers by your side. Alrighty. And with that, Hayden, is there any tips or pieces of advice that you would like to share to our audiences of aspiring artists, especially to the kids who are traveling down this yellow brick road?
Yeah, and it's just do it. Just do it, like Nike says, right? Just go for everything. Do everything you want. If you have a dream, I think my philosophy is, no matter how crazy outlandish that is, if you put your all towards it, it's gonna happen. It's hard, you face problems, you face struggles, but in the end, just go for it. Go for your dreams, and I think it'll really pay off in the end. I know myself. I have crazy dreams, but I know I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. And I haven't died so far doing it, so I guess I'm doing all right.
Yep.
Still making art. That's what matters.
Exactly. It's just like what Marty McFly says in the Back to the Future series. Back to the Future, best movie ever. I'm just gonna say it. It's my favorite movie. It's just like what Marty McFly says. If you put your mind to it, you just might get it. Hopefully, I got that right. It's something like that, or exactly like that. Alrighty, Hayden, I gotta say thank you so much. It was awesome having you here. You're my youngest guest, and again, one of my favorite freshmen, one of the best freshmen that I got to work with during my college years. And I know for sure GMP is in good hands, and so is Comedy Closet. And I can't wait to see more works come courtesy of you and your fellow artists taking the stage by storm. I can't wait to see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for enjoying and watching and listening to HIA. Give it one last time for Hayden Harbison.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much
for
having me.
Thank you for being on the show. It was such a joy to have you here. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your day.